All right, guys, now the video that I have for you here today is going to be what I refer to as a case study on this channel. I want to take a look at this particular situation as it is of a young lady with an Instagram following of over 100,000 people beg those same 100,000 people for money via her platform. Now, she is what I would refer to as like one of these sacral chakra healer types, you know those types, right?
Escucha las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche. Los antiguos dioses invocamos ahora la obra de la magia oculta.
But she's also a conspiracy theorist. And this right now will not only be a tutoring session in online content creation, as well as how to monetize your audience, but then also what can happen to young ladies when they lack masculine presence, leadership, structure, or solution thinking. So let's make this into a conversation of what not to do, a solution-based conversation, so that you don't become a damn online pauper begging for money. Without further ado, now before we get into the e-begging, I thought that I'd show off the profile real quick so we can understand the type of young lady that she is, and of course, the green hair. You know what? Let's just go down into the profile picture. Not a bad looking young lady. And I'm actually happy that she is not diving into the OF sex work. But you can already see tattoos all over the hands. I believe that that is a spider tattoo with the bone finger. You see young ladies with that type of image, and you're going to get exactly what you deserve if you try to take them serious, baby. Usually they're living free within their spirits and their chakras and okay. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, I wanted to get into exactly the type of conspiracy theorist, content creator that she is.
Hey, last night, Donald Trump just made this 13-year-old boy a Secret Service agent because he survived brain cancer. His name is DJ Daniel, and I'm about to show y'all the real reason why he's a part of a Secret Service, all right?
Now, hopefully you guys remember this story from about a month or so ago. Young man was honorably promoted to Secret Service position after recovering from brain cancer. The conservatives love it. The libs found any way to make it seem like this was a negative act. Then the conspiracy theorists said shit like this.
Start asking questions here. How did this 13-year-old boy survive brain cancer from 6 different surgeries? Terminally ill brain cancer. This is supposed to be a miracle, right? Wrong. Because this whole thing is not what it seems. Because why is this kid only allowed to raise his hand when his father does it first? Let alone, why is this agent behind them both making sure they act according to the T? I mean, it's really given that one time that he called himself trying to eat chicken with the black people. Why else would they be trying to promote this? And I want y'all to take an even closer look at this crowd of people who did and did not clap for this kid right here. Was it because the color of his skin? Or was it because he was the first living miracle of their future invention? I mean, this kid has even came out and said every time that he's had a brain surgery, he's had a different personality. So again, we really don't know who's up in there, but all we know is they supporting it. And if they supporting it, it's definitely not for the people.
Now listen, I consume conspiracy theory content on occasion just from a purely entertainment perspective because some conspiracy theories have been proven to be true, but I understand that there's little to no benefit when consuming the irrational ramblings of young people that don't understand up from down. But from a content perspective, what's interesting to me is that she got a couple of thousand of likes on this bullshit, which equals tens of thousands of views. If she spent as much time devising this cockamamie story that apparently portions of her audience like, as opposed to monetizing, because if you guys don't know, Instagram don't pay a goddamn shit. To Instagram, you are uploading free content. So if you have no additional links to monetize your free content, you're essentially just doing this for likes and validation, which will pay you goose egg at the end of the day. Anyway, let's get into her e-begging content. Now, this video is about a month after the previous one. Let's go.
Can I be honest with y'all? I'm fucking scared right now, okay? I'm scared because I don't know what the fuck to do in my situation. I'm about to be homeless if I don't pay my rent in 24 hours. So long story short, I've not been able to get into an apartment. I've been having to pay my rent weekly in a room for rent inside of a shared house. And I'm not trying to put my business out there, but this is the last resort that I get. I have to pay this down before tomorrow. And you look, I have to pay weekly I don't have to pay $600 a week. I have to pay $300 a week. But as you can see, this is how much money that I have. I'm gonna just be completely honest with y'all. I don't have a job right now because my ID has been expired, but I have still tried everything that I could. I've even tried finding jobs. Ain't nobody trying to hire me, especially not in the time frame that I need help. I've tried calling 211, which is supposed to be a government assistance to help me find rental assistance in my area. I don't have anything over here that I qualify for. And by the grace of God, I was able to get food stamps this week. If I didn't have this food stamp card sent to me this week because they found out my situation when I was trying to call around for help, that should tell you that I don't even make enough money. This should tell you how honest and transparent that I'm being as a young woman, that I cannot continue to sit up here and try to help people if I don't get the help that I need for myself. Because you know what's going to happen? If I go out there and I get homeless, I'm not going to be able to make videos for y'all no more. And that's exactly what the Matrix, the devil, and the people want. If anyone is wondering, why don't I get a job? My ID is expired. Who's going to hire somebody whose ID is expired? This world is fucked up. I tried my best, y'all. Look, I put this whole website together.
Baby girl, so it's the Matrix's fault that you didn't get your license renewed, which is an activity that everybody in this goddamn country has to do in a certain amount of time. In the time that you spent putting this video together and not spending it blaming the Matrix, blaming the government, blaming the right man, and take accountability for yourself and look at that tiny little expiration date on your ID and plan effectively to get it renewed, then you wouldn't have been in this situation to begin with. We're going through an incredible situation in the States in regards to foreigners, to migrants, having access to government funding. So yes, go get your damn ID to prove that you're a naturalized citizen. The devil and the Matrix have absolutely nothing to do with your situation. Stop trying to blame others for your wrongs. Take responsibility and do better. You've built up 100,000 follower IG account on bullshit, by the way, right? Like think about how difficult that it is to produce financial content and build 100,000 followers. She's built it off of conspiracy theory bullshit, and now she's e-begging, pauper begging online because of the situation that she created. Stop begging online. It's pathetic as hell. Have some dignity. But of course, even as I say that, people actually helped and donated to her fund. But she released this next video after she received some feedback.
Someone please help me do the math on how the other day I posted a video on here telling y'all that I needed help to not be homeless in my situation because I only had 24 hours left to pay my rent. After struggling in silence for the longest, that I received a bunch of death threats, cyberbullying, and hate as a result. I've seen a comment like this one too many times on my post, family, and it's disgusting because what if that was your daughter? The only reason why I made this video is because I had less than 24 hours to get my balance down, or they were going to kick me out of my room that I paid $300 for a week. Oh, and just so you know I'm not lying, Look. Yes, this is a room for rent. Rooms for rent. You know what I'm saying? And I showed everyone why I couldn't work because my ID is expired. And just so y'all know, I do have an appointment to get a new ID. But do you see this? This is an Illinois ID. I live in the state of Texas. I've even tried my best trying to find a job that would hire me in the meantime to help me pay my rent.
If you were serious about getting a job as opposed to being famous on social media, you get this in front of a resume writer. The first thing that they would do is they would spit on this resume for this oddly boxed contact information at the top. I mean, it's on a goddamn slope going down, or even the piece at the top. The resume is informal as hell. I'm not even gonna get into the work experience, but just looking at this, I would take this resume and set it on goddamn fire. But let's say that I did it. Let's say that I went down in here and said, oh, she says that she's a budding content creator. And then I go check up your profile. And not only do I see you e-begging on the internet, but then I see you're creating conspiracy theory content, which is going to reduce the amount of people that will inevitably take you serious for your fringe beliefs. Long story short, you're prioritizing the wrong things. Deprioritize coloring your hair goddamn green. Prioritize fixing your resume and getting your damn ID fixed.
while time was just ticking, and no one would hire me because I need an ID to work. Yes, the truth is, my ID expired January 10th, 2024. But I was afraid to even go to the DMV because at the time, I was dealing with legal issues. It wasn't until this year that I actually had the courage to call a lawyer and check on that stuff so I could get a new ID. Everyone keeps saying, why don't you get paid from social media with all those followers? I don't get paid from social media. I don't get paid from Instagram because I'm shadow banned and censored for talking about conspiracy theories. So with that being said,
Instagram doesn't pay.
I turned to doing hair full time as much as I could to actually afford my rent for these past few months. Because unfortunately, I wasn't able to work at this shop anymore. And I do want to say a big thank you to everyone who has donated to me to help me pay my rent down from that $500 balance. Thank you so much. But I still have to pay $300 a week. And if anyone wants to help me in my situation until I get to my appointment on May 12th, I will be beyond grateful for whatever help I can get to help me get from point A to point B. I just need a little more help so I can make it, so I can work. I want to do the right thing. I love y'all.
She needs to quit buying makeup so she can pay for her damn rent. And for anyone out there that's just like, MTR, you're going a little bit too hard on her, take a look at some of these comments over here. What part of Texas are you in? I have several businesses and no other owners in Central Texas. She responds, girl, she don't want no job. She ignores everyone on here who says that they'll hire her without an ID or has worked for her. She said she won't even go to people's houses and do their hair because they want to harm her. Of course she does. She's a conspiracy theorist. Everyone's out to get her, remember? I will never understand these people that get up on the internet, spend all this time making all this content, and the goal is not to provide flexibility or comfort for themselves within their life. And instead, they just want to be seen, heard, or validated for things that they have thought. But if you're not working to create business around your content, especially if the content is not earning ad revenue, then what are you doing it for? Literally makes no sense. And you're in your situation because of no one else than you.
Y'all prayed on my downfall. Y'all said go get my ID. Done.
So that was the final update. She finally got her ID, and then all of the money from the donations made it so she didn't get kicked out. Personally, I would have never donated to no bullshit like this because we've all been put through our own unique gauntlets throughout life, and dependent upon your degree of preparedness or information that you have sought out in order to increase your chances at a joyous life, those actions will directly result in good results in life. And if you're physically healthy, mentally healthy, and conventionally attractive, you should not have anything that you're begging for. There should be no complaints that you have within your life, and you should internalize the mistakes that you're making to end up in this position. You have a head start in life. Shit, imagine if you were born into a country where there are no options, right? I've traveled to countries and there were no options for some of the women out there outside of just selling their body. And it is an odd thing to see. They don't have many cards to play, but growing up in the States, I believe she says she's in Texas, you have cards. And if you play your cards right, make smart choices, build good habits, take advantage of opportunities, then life can then be on easy mode. But if you're not doing that, then you're forcing hard mode. Doing all those things are not a guarantee on success, but I can guarantee you focusing on doing stupid things will lead to your inevitable failure. This is why accountability is so important in this day and age, not only in just relationships, but then also in leading a successful life. Because next time your e-begging may not work as well, you may not be as fortunate. My last point in all of this, show me a profile of a man doing some shit like this, right? Like, show me a profile of a dude talking about he about to become homeless and have all of the supporters what this woman is right here. I'd love to be able to go over the content. So if you guys find it, please send it over to my email so I can go through it. But until then, I will forever maintain that rewarding people for bad decisions is going to lead to more bad decisions. Sometimes you gotta let people feel the full extent of those bad decisions. All right, guys, leave me some comments down below. Did you learn anything new within this conversation in regards to being accountable for oneself, in regards to content creation and how to monetize your platforms? No matter what, guys, men's self-development community right down below. in the description box. I actually have a section up there that talks about how I became a commentary YouTuber. It goes over hardware, software, why I'm on YouTube. Newsflash, it has the highest monetization for the level of effort that you put in if you can figure out how to do it. Nevertheless, link down in the description box down below. Click in, beam up, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace. You is ratchet as they come. Rainbow weaves and batwing lashes, weighing more than a man. What time is your football practice? I bet you can hit that A gift like a mug. How you big back and said a man must buy you gifts. Where here goes a Fitbit tracker. Are you mad? Cause you got 3 kids by 4 different dads. You pick cookies, then you bash. Oh man, when you get sad.